Good evening to one and all. Hope you all are fine during this COVID-19. I am Dinesh Kumar. I am going to take electromagnetic fields and waveguides, unit number 3. Okay. So I am going to give you a lecture about uniform plane waves and polarization in this session. So let's go to uniform plane waves. So this unit number 3, the topic is uniform plane waves. So first of all, we will see what is this uniform plane wave is. A uniform plane wave is a wave where the phase of the electromagnetic wave is same for all the points on a plane surface. If the phase of the electromagnetic wave is same for all the points, then it is called as a plane wave. If the amplitude is also constant in the plane wave, we call it as a uniform plane wave. So there are some 3 properties for this such that the plane wave satisfies to become a uniform plane wave are being given here. So at every point in space, the electric field E and magnetic field H are perpendicular to each other, and the direction of propagation is perpendicular to both of them. So this is the first property to be satisfied. The second property is that the fields which harmonically vary with respect to time, with respect to frequency, should also travel having the fields harmonically everywhere in space. So the third property is that each field will have same direction, magnitude and phase at every point in any plane perpendicular to the direction of that it travels. So these are the 3 properties that is to be satisfied by an electromagnetic wave. Then only it is called as an uniform plane wave. So we'll consider an electric field which is having a wave which is to be traveling in the 3 coordinates. So we have x coordinate, we have y coordinate and we have z coordinates. Assume that in x coordinate we have electric field E, in y coordinate we have magnetic field H, and the direction of the wave to be traveling will be perpendicular to both of them, which is in z direction. So we can write the wave equation as del square E is equal to mu epsilon dou square E divided by dou t square. So we are familiar with del. So substitute the del operator. Okay. So dou square E divided by dou x square plus dou square E by dou y square plus dou square E by dou z square is equal to mu permeability epsilon permittivity dou square E by dou t square. So we all are familiar with this terminologies which we had done it in unit 1 and unit 2. So consider the electric field varies in x direction and it is independent of the directions of y and z. Then the wave equation will become dou square E divided by dou x square is equal to mu epsilon dou square E by dou t square. Since it's independent, the directions along y and directions along z will be equal to 0. So this can be written in the form of other terms, the components of E in the direction of x, y and z also. So we get dou square Ex divided by dou x square is equal to mu epsilon dou square E x divided by dou t square. Dou square Ey divided by dou x square is equal to mu epsilon dou square Ey divided by dou t square, and dou square Ez divided by dou x square is equal to mu epsilon dou square Ez divided by dou t square. So in free space, obviously there will not be any charges being present. So we can write the equation del dot D is equal to rho V, which is equal to 0. So we can assume that since del dot E is equal to 0, we get dou dot D is equal to 0. So we'll be getting the equation dou Ex divided by dou X plus dou Ey divided by dou Y plus dou Ez divided by dou Z is equal to 0. Now take this for an uniform plane wave. Consider that E is independent of Y and Z. So then we get dou Ex divided by dou X is equal to 0. So this equation shows that there is no variations of Ex in X direction. So differentiate this with respect to T. So we get, since we don't have a T component, we can write dou square Ex divided by dou X square is equal to 0. So this requires that entire Ex to be as 0 or as a constant. So let me, I think this would be fine. So this requires that Ex to be either 0 or a constant. So del dot B is equal to mu into del dot H. Okay. So this you had seen in unit number 1 in the magnetic fields. So del dot H, since del dot H is equal to 0, we can write dou Hx divided by dou X plus dou Hy divided by dou Y plus dou Hz divided by dou Z is equal to 0. Since the H is propagating is in X direction, it is independent of Y. So we can write dou Hx divided by dou X is equal to 0 and dou square Hx divided by dou X square is equal to 0. So this is your uniform plane wave. So this is a derivation for that. So coming to the next is the wave propagation. So the wave propagation in an conducting medium has to be done. So this wave propagation in the conducting medium is obtained by the wave equation. So the wave equation for any conducting medium is del square E minus mu epsilon dou square E divided by dou T square minus mu sigma dou E by dou T. So where the new factor that we are going to see is your sigma, which is the conductivity of the material. Sigma represents the conductivity of the material that we are going to use in the medium. So the phasor form of this wave equation will be del square E minus mu epsilon omega square E minus j omega mu epsilon E. Then this can be simplified as taking j minus j as common. We get del square E minus j as in this equation, common of omega mu epsilon plus j epsilon mu omega square into E is equal to 0. So on further simplification, I can take omega and mu outside. So it becomes del square E minus j omega mu sigma plus j omega epsilon into E is equal to 0. So this is the equation for propagation constant gamma square. So gamma square is already known to us j omega mu of sigma plus j omega epsilon. Gamma is your propagation constant, which is obtained from alpha plus j beta. Okay, so this is how we get it. So now square this on both the sides. We get this equation. Squaring in both the sides, alpha square minus beta square plus 2j alpha beta is equal to j omega mu epsilon minus omega square mu epsilon. So now equate the real part and imaginary part, as we all are familiar with that. So we get real part as alpha square minus beta square is equal to minus omega square mu epsilon, write it as A, and the imaginary part 2 alpha beta is equal to omega mu epsilon. So solve these two equations. We all are familiar with solving the equations. So we know that alpha square plus beta square is equal to square root of alpha square minus beta square the whole square plus 4 alpha square beta square. So but alpha square minus beta square the whole square is equal to this equation, so which you have got from the previous equation from here, right? So square it, simplify, we get this equation, substitute it here. Alpha square plus beta square will be square root of omega power 4 mu square epsilon square plus omega square mu square sigma square, and alpha square minus beta square will be minus omega square mu epsilon. Okay, then if you add these two equations, we'll get alpha If we add subtract these two equations, we get beta. So do it as an exercise. So this is your wave equation. This is the equation for your wave, determining alpha and beta. So next topic is polarization. The polarization is an important factor to be determined in the electromagnetic waves. The polarization defines that in an uniform plane wave, the time-varying behavior of electrical field strength vector at some fixed point in space determines your polarization. So consider an electromagnetic wave which is of uniform plane wave type, travels in z direction with E and H lying in xy planes. Having Ey is equal to 0 and the presence of only Ex. So the wave is said to be polarized in x direction only. Similarly, if Ex is equal to 0 and only Ey is present, the wave is said to be polarized in y direction. So polarization in x direction, polarization in y direction. If it is polarized in x direction, we have Ey is equal to 0. If it is polarized in y direction, Ex is equal to 0. So we have three types of polarization. One is the linear polarization. If both Ex and Ey are present and are in phase, which means those two are equal, the resultant electric field will have the direction at an angle of tan inverse of Ey by Ex. Right? Tan inverse of Ey by Ex. Ratio between Ey and Ex. And the direction of the resultant vector would be constant with respect to time. Then the wave is said to be linear polarized. So these are the Ex, Ey, resultant of that is electric field. So this is your angle being created and this is your resultant magnitude. So the next polarization is your circular polarization. If the Ex component and Ey component have equal magnitudes and there is phase difference of 90 degree or pi by 2, then the locus of resultant would be a circle. So we call this as circular polarization. You can see that Ex, Ey and E within a circle. So the resultant difference will be 90 degree in phase between Ex and Ey. So the corresponding time varying field can be written as Ex is equal to Ea cos omega t and Ey will be minus Ea sin omega t. So since the phase difference is there, it will be in opposite, so minus. So then E square Ex square plus Ey square will be Ea square. So that E is determined here. So this is your circular polarization. So third one is your elliptical polarization. Again, the Ex component and Ey component are having different amplitudes with 90 degree phase shift between them. So then it forms an elliptical shape and the wave is said to be elliptically polarized. Just a minute, I'll zoom it. Yeah, right. Elliptically polarized. So Ex has magnitude A and Ey has a magnitude B and the phase difference is 90 degree. So you can write the resultant electric field Ex, Ey inside an ellipse. So electric field will be in elliptical shape. So I'll be getting resultant electric field as E is equal to Ax vector A plus J Ay vector B. So the corresponding time varying field will be resultant of those two. So add it. So E is equal to Ax vector A cos omega t minus Ay vector B sin omega t. So the components will be Ex is equal to A cos omega t and Ey is equal to minus B sin omega t. So phase difference. So sin. So then we get Ex by A is equal to cos omega t, Ey by B is equal to minus sin omega t, the known simplification factor, then Ex square by A square, squaring on both the sides, Ex square by A square plus Ey square by B square is equal to 1. So this equation shows the locus of resultant of E as an ellipse. So if you have any queries or doubts in this uniform plane waves and polarization, you can mail me at dinesh_6003 at the rate of yahoo.com. Fine, I'll zoom it again. Thank you.